Welcome back to another episode of Two Average Husbands. I am your host, Jake.
And I'm your host, Kyle. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Two Average Husbands. Jake, what are you drinking this week?
This week, I had to switch it up. I have a bunch of stouts. As you can see, new setup in my room again. But you can see some of my beer now. But I grabbed the wrong two cans to put in the fridge today. So I have Napkin Magic Tart Cherry, which is a kettle sour with cherries.
Yuck.
Sounds delicious, doesn't it?
I have a friend that listens to our podcast, and they threatened to give me sour beers because they know how much I hate sour beers. Just like as a gift. They're like, yeah, I'm going to give you some sours. And I was like, no.
Speaking of friends, weren't we supposed to have a guest this week?
Oh, dude, fuck me. I totally forgot to follow up on that. I didn't even think about that at all. I should message him right now and be like, hey, you want to hop on?
They, worst case, can always be invited back.
I'm just going to message him right now. Be like, hey, dude, we're going to get started. You coming?
The best part is I don't even know who the guest was supposed to be.
Yeah. I don't even
I
know
have
if he remembers.
I have an inkling. Is it somebody I know?
No, not at all.
I haven't interacted with them,
No, you
even
have
on
no
Twitter.
idea who this person is. You have literally no idea.
Well, screw me then, because I thought I had a little bit of an inkling of who it was going to be, but now I'm wrong. And what are you drinking, Kyle?
Oh, yeah, good call. I will introduce my first beer, which is counter to the order that I had told you. I'm going to drink the Blackwater series from Southern Tier, their Nitro S'mores Ale first.
The same guy who hooked it up previously with a few Southern Tier beers. Shout out to Edgar. If you're listening, you might listen on the recap. I know you don't normally catch us live, but he works for Southern Tier. He's one of their sales reps, and he's a great guy and has given me some free beer, and I appreciate that.
10%er.
What is mine? I don't even know. This one is packaged by Lil Beaver Brewery, and I don't think the alcohol is listed.
Lil Beaver inferior to Belching Beaver. I already know.
See, I don't even know if that's true. Support your local beaver. That's all I know.
How dare you?
This actually doesn't list the percentage on it, which is...
Do you remember that one time that I had a beer that didn't list the percentage and you told me I was insane and that it was legally required and there's no way that that was true?
You know what? I was drinking that night. As I am for 90% of these podcasts. But
this thing is pouring real thick. It looks delicious.
I'm going to fill my glass to the brim. This is probably a dangerous move.
Oh, man.
But it's a veteran move.
I hate how much I'm going to love this, and I know it.
I haven't had...
sip the river off the can, and it is
No, I haven't had the s'mores one. They had a coconut one that I had that was pretty good.
That does sound really good. I need to get my hands on that.
Here's my pour. Don't worry.
Jesus.
Nice and classy.
This was only a 12-ounce can, so I have a mostly not full glass, actually. Look at that head, though. Isn't that perfect? What a good-looking beer.
That is a good-looking beer. That's a nice... Ooh, look at that. Look at it fucking trail the side of the cup.
That's really good.
Yeah, Southern Tier. Shout out to their beers if you haven't had them. I want to say I've had a couple of theirs. So I had their Blackwater Nitro Coconut Truffle, which I gave an 8.7. I had their Pumpkin Nitro Cold Brew Coffee, which I gave a 7.9. And I've just in my life have had a few of their other like pumpkin beers. Their Pumpkin. They have a few different ones, but the Pumpkin Nitro Cold Brew Coffee like tasted like if you went to not Dunkin', maybe they do pumpkin, I don't know. If you went to Starbucks and were like, "Can I get a cold brew with pumpkin?" It tasted like that. It was very, very good.
If I ever find myself in New York, which is where they're based out of, I'll have to.
Like I said, the guy who one of their sales reps is thank you, Zach. I appreciate you. Zach's in the league that I was just telling you about, Kyle. And maybe we can touch on that briefly. But their sales rep, he lives like 20 minutes from me. He travels the country to sell it, but you know, it's a pretty readily available brand.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think I just want to visit the brewery because if it's that good, I want to try it, straight from them.
Fresh, yeah.
But also, this has like a really odd scent to it, which does not match its taste. It's like
I've had a few beers like that smell really good and they just taste a little bit weird. Or not even
it tastes really
weird,
good. It just smells a little weird.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be made with graham cracker flavor as well.
Maybe that's
I think
what.
that maybe that's what I'm smelling. It
Yeah,
just,
because
like,
you get
smells
like a little bit
graham
of like
cracker.
like a mustier smell to it. I know what
It
you're
almost
talking
smells
about.
like a stale graham cracker. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like one that's just been like sitting there for a while.
it's just been vibing.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe people like that. I don't know, but it tastes fine.
You're gonna find
So
out. First sip impression of mine, we're off to a good start. I'll put it that way. You
that's
wouldn't
good.
like it. It tastes like a sour,
I don't
but
like sours. That is true.
I don't. I don't get how you don't like sour. You like sour candy.
I do like sour candy. I
Then how
liked sour
don't you
candy
like
a lot
sour
more when I was a
beer?
kid, but I don't. I don't. I don't know, dude. I just
We'll
don't
figure
like
it
beer.
out. We'll find something
I
you
think
like.
the opinion, or like the conception of the taste of beer in my head can't jive with what is being advertised as an alcohol or like a beer to me, and so I sip it. I'm like, this just tastes like fucking sour water.
Well, then Zach agrees with you because he mentioned that he has never had a drop of beer, so this is all going over his head.
Oh,
So,
that's sad.
but also maybe a good thing. I don't know. I feel like my life would be better if I never knew what alcohol was.
I don't know that that's true.
I would be in much better shape. We'll put it that way.
I don't know that that's true either.
I
I feel like people use alcohol as their scapegoat for like weight gain all the time.
It
And sure, like if I don't drink for a while, like I probably would lose some weight, but that doesn't mean like I can't stay
I
healthy. Although it's bad for your liver, obviously. So like,
yeah, but also like
you're healthier without it, no doubt. But
the first time that I like lost a significant chunk of weight, I was legitimately drinking like 30 beers 2 or 3 times a week. Like that alone is like 3,000 calories.
that is a lot.
Like you're gonna gain a lot of weight when you do that. And it also literally the reason I lost weight was because Dane's dad came up to me, slapped me in the tummy and said, "You've been drinking a lot, huh?" I was like, losing weight tomorrow. Got it.
Jeez, bud.
Thanks, Dean.
Rude.
Oh man. But anyways, let's get off to our nice start with our NFL typical topic. We
It's
don't
funny
have
that we're still doing NFL topics, which is a little weird. It seems strange because I'm so out of the world now because I just it's weird. Like the whole NFL landscape is usually gone over the Pro Bowl week,
Right.
and it's if unless you're into the Pro Bowl, which I'm not.
it's
I
the
used to
dumbest
think it was
sporting
more
event.
entertaining, but it is dumb.
It's so dumb. It's like you can tell the players don't like they like the skills competitions, like those look fun. Give me just 3
Yeah.
straight days of nothing but skills competitions.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
think you tweeted
so
about
much
that.
better.
I remember reading your tweet, and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. But also, like, it looks like the athletes are having fun during that, and then when they're out on the field, like, you are just
They just don't
the
care.
obvious problem is the risk to injury. Like, you're
Yeah.
putting people at risk to injury for no reason.
Yeah, you're
and they
not
don't
trying to
care.
like literally end your career
Yeah,
for
it's just
like you go back to some of the old tapes like of Sean Taylor just absolutely destroying someone in the Pro Bowl and you're like, yeah, that was awesome to watch, but also
yeah,
they were probably a little upset about it like when it happened. I don't know. Like, yeah, you're not trying to hurt yourself for something that means absolutely nothing. Like, and it's just there's no way to make it valuable enough. Like,
yeah.
if you give
completely
it
agree.
like if you make it like it used to be and it determines like home field advantage for the Super Bowl, like, or maybe that's not even that. I think that's MLB. MLB used to be that way, but regardless, like that's pointless. Like they're not in the Super Bowl. Nobody in the Super Bowl is playing the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
I just
I I think it's it's comparable, and like what you see a lot of the time is people saying like the people that opt out of college bowl games and like how especially now that generation that was starting that whole we're going to opt out of college bowl games is now getting in the NFL, so you're starting to see it in the NFL too, and it's just like you're right, they are opting out of those types of games because they probably should.
yeah. Why would I risk millions upon millions of dollars?
And
Give
yeah,
me
what's
one
the
reason
guy's
why I should
name?
do that.
The quarterback's name that played in the college one this year.
Oh,
their
Matt
equivalent is.
Corral.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one quarterback that was like being projected high. I think he had a decent chance of being one of, if not the first quarterback off the board. I really like Matt Corral and I like a lot of what he has to offer. But yeah, and you get hurt like, and that bowl game isn't improving your draft stock at all. No, one game is not changing the way a team views you. I'm sorry, it's not like that. And that's like one of the reasons we'll talk about this in a different episode about why I wasn't super excited about this year's quarterback class in general. Like you're relying on the Senior Bowl to make your decision between a handful of them. That's a problem. But
yep.
Pro Bowl
Because
sucks.
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl sucks. It's gonna keep sucking. There's nothing we can do to change that. But we do have the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday.
Sure do.
And so it's not really one of my topics. If we get crunched on time, we can count it as one of my topics. 5 foods that you have to have in a Super Bowl spread, and who do you think is winning the Super Bowl? and I'm going to turn it into a gambling thing, and I'm going to pull up the odds. I'm going to pull up the spread. I'm going to pull up all of that.
While you're doing all the
and tell me
numbers
what you
games
think.
stuff, then I will start talking about food. Little Smokies, hands down, must have. Gotta
Absolutely.
have them.
In
You must have.
plain, or do you put them in barbecue sauce?
I have never had a Little Smoky plain in my life.
I
And if
have.
you eat Little Smokies plain, you are a horrible human.
I haven't really eaten them plain. I've like fried
Do
them
you
up
eat
in a
cold
pan.
hot dogs?
No, hell no.
Oh, thank God.
No, I've taken the Little Smokies and like heated them up in a pan and mixed them in with my eggs. I don't know if you count that as plain or not, but that's the only way I've had them
No.
without like some type of sauce on them.
No, I guess I wouldn't consider that to be plain per se,
Yeah.
but I still think it sounds gross.
It was
I
actually
get it though.
pretty
I
good.
put like like Johnsonville brats in my like breakfast sometimes.
yeah, I mean it's just
Fry that up in a
sausage.
pan and you throw it in there. Yeah,
It's just like a little hot dog.
I guess. I don't know. Have you ever had a hot dog and eggs?
Can't
I
say that I
haven't.
have. No,
I haven't either.
I've had hot dog and mac and cheese. Not terrible.
Hot dog and mac and cheese is delicious. But actually, Johnsonville brat and mac and cheese is better. But.
I can't say I've ever had brats. I've had mac and cheese and brats, but I've never put my brats in my mac and cheese.
So I do the jalapeno brats, which aren't really
Yep.
brats. They're like sausages.
Yeah.
Throw that shit in mac and cheese. Just had it the other night, actually. Delicious.
All right, so before we
Every
get
once
too
in a while,
deep
you need one of those peasant meals. You know what I mean? You
Uh,
just gotta eat some
1000%.
fucking ramen and shit.
Bro, every once in a while I cook like 4 packs of ramen.
Yeah.
I am lazy, so we get like every once in a while we'll just get like the pre-packaged hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, gross.
I'll throw a couple of those in there, a little hot sauce, maybe make a little
Just gotta take
chicken if
myself
I'm
back
feeling
to-
wild.
College and shit. Get that taste going again.
You gotta do.
Did you ever have mac and cheese pizza?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just gonna derail you for the rest of this conversation.
No, it's
I'm just-
fine.
Things are
Yes,
coming to my mind.
I have had it. I did enjoy it when I ate it, and I
Was
was.
that CC's when you had it? or
It
have
was
somewhere
at
else?
CC's. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
CC's I feel like made it popular, then people started making it on their own. It's way better if you make it yourself.
Oh, 1,000%. It's. I mean,
Just 8 million
CC's
calories
is.
a slice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so currently, as of my time of looking at this, the Rams are the favorite. They are a 4-point favorite, and the expected over/under is currently set at 48.5.
Bengals by 3. McPherson kicks the game-winning field goal.
You're calling your shot. The Bengals have scored 72 points in the playoffs, and Evan McPherson has scored 40 of them.
Yeah.
For what it's worth. Absolute dog. One of the best kickers in football, if not the best.
And
I'm
he's a
not going
rookie.
to say the best. And he's a rookie. You know when a team uses a draft pick on a kicker, unless it's the Raiders, it's probably going to be a good thing. Shout out Sebastian Janikowski. Solid career. Wasn't worth a first-round pick. I also think Cincinnati's going to win, but I would probably bet the Rams spread just because, like you said, it's going to be a close game, I think. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Part of me kind of hopes it's a blowout. I would also take the over on this game. There's no chance I'm taking the under on this game.
Don't hope that.
No, I want it to be a blowout.
Blowout Super Bowls are the fucking worst.
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
They're so boring.
28-3. That was
3 would be very boring.
28-3 was the Patriots Atlanta Super Bowl. We all thought it was a blowout. They're up 25 points in the third quarter. Tom Brady leads the comeback. They win. That would be sick.
That would be sick, but if it's a blowout, that is not sick.
Yeah,
And it ends 28-3.
but if it's a blowout and it's like
It still blows my mind that the Falcons were in a fucking Super Bowl. Like that moment like doesn't exist for me because I was gone for work when that Super Bowl happened, so I didn't even get to watch it. I was just too busy. And I remember like the next day I like found out about the whole all the drama with it, and I was like, God damn, I wish I would have watched. But also the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons question mark. But yeah, the Los Angeles Rams have been the favorite, or as the favorite, are 3-1-1 against the spread in the past 5 Super Bowls that they've appeared in. Oh no, sorry, that is just the favorite. I read that wrong. The favorite is 3-1-1 against the spread. The Bengals have covered 6 consecutive games against opponents with winning records, though. So
Bengals by 3, McPherson.
but for the Bengals to cover the spread, it'd have to be +4.
I don't care about the spread.
Anyways,
Money line, baby. Bengals by
I
3.
I think Cincinnati has a really good shot to win. I would love to see Matt Stafford get a ring. I would love to see Cooper Kupp get a ring. I'd love to see Robert Woods, even though he's been hurt. He's a dude. I love him. Love to see him get a ring
He is a
too.
dude. That is a fact.
He's a dude. You know what I mean when I say that. Everybody who knows what a dude is knows what I mean when I say that. No, I don't have to explain
honestly,
that one.
like Odell, even Sony Michel.
Yeah,
a lot of
Odell
those
too.
guys. Sony Michel's good, man. People have dogged on him for a long time, but
He's
really
not
he's done a lot of
that
work on his
good,
team. No,
but
but he's done a lot of work filling in on that team. He's
Oh
done
yeah,
great.
100%.
Especially when Henderson went out, which really
Yeah.
sucked for me in fantasy to see Michelle step up the way he did. But good for
Yeah.
him.
And then who's the offensive lineman? Andrew Whitworth. I'd love to see him get a ring too. He's been in the league for like 16 years or something crazy. Like he's been around forever. And I think this is his first Super Bowl. Maybe I'm misquoting that, but yeah. There's a lot of guys
young
that are
talent for the Bengals too, and they've got
Yeah.
time. But just Joe Burt.
Joe Burr. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Back to the food though, the more important part. So you got Little Smokies on your list.
I do. Wait, who is your team? What are you saying? You're saying Bengals too?
I would like
Are
to
you
see the
going
Bengals
against?
win.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if they will, but I would like to see them win. Yeah. So you didn't do it in order. I'm gonna do it in order. My number one is wings.
I don't care.
I have to have wings during the Super Bowl, or it's not the Super Bowl.
I don't eat bone-in wings, as I know that you know.
I specifically eat bone-in wings for the Super Bowl.
I love boneless wings, but I don't know that it's a requisite for me. Like, if boneless wings were there, I'd be fucking eating them for sure. But I don't eat bone-in wings, and I don't know that it's a necessity for me.
All right, what's your second then for after Little Smokies?
Nachos, or some sort of like a queso dip.
Yeah, I can get it. I can
chips and
vibe with
queso.
that.
Yeah.
This year, my parents are gonna come over for the Super Bowl, first Super Bowl in the new house. So, gotta
Nice.
bring out all the stops. And my mom's making tacos, and that's like our contribution is we're gonna make like guacamole, salsa, rice beans, and nachos.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, it's not a requisite for me, but it's up there. I
Okay.
could see it like breaking fringe top 5. In fact, it might work its way in here as I convince myself. Number 2 for me. This is purely a nostalgia thing, is pizza rolls. We have had pizza rolls at probably every Super Bowl that I have watched in my life. Dating back to like the first Super Bowl that I really remember watching was I want to say it was Tampa and Oakland in like 2002. That's like the first one that I really remember watching with my dad. And we had pizza rolls then. So it's been like a long standing thing.
I would just say pizza is on my list.
Yeah.
Would I accept pizza rolls as a tolerable
You have to.
piece of that category?
It's,
Yeah, probably would.
That's
Probably
just the rule. You can't. Pizza rolls are the best type of pizza.
I 100% disagree with
Same.
that. And I
hate
can't
it.
believe you said that.
I said it mostly as a joke.
Especially as a Chicagoer.
Chicago pizza's overrated. That's a
I don't care
different
about
story for a
Chicago
different
pizza,
day.
but you should pizza in
Yeah.
general is ingrained into your culture
Yeah, that's true.
as a Chicagoer.
I can't disagree with you there. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that pizza roll.
Pizza
Best
rolls
type
are
of
amazing.
pizza. They are good. Yeah, they're good. They're just not the best.
Let's see what else
Do you
is.
prefer New York style? What's your style?
I do prefer New York style.
Okay.
New York style, and then like Chicago thin crust, and then like Detroit style,
Detroit style's good.
and then Chicago deep dish. Deep dish pizza is ass.
So I'm just like a real basic ass bitch when it comes to pizza. So like I eat a lot of just like your traditional crust pizza is like
Yeah.
whatever like Papa John's shit. But if I'm gonna get a fancier, like I think I would prefer New York.
It's so much better. Everything about it's better.
Yeah.
And I have had it as like leftovers, so I don't count myself as ever having it. But like the New Haven, Connecticut style of pizza, it's like it's considered by many to be like the best pizza in the country. And
I went to the East Coast for the first time in my life not that long ago, so I have spent almost zero time on the East Coast, and I haven't had a lot of time to explore pizzas out there.
I'm also not going to travel to New Haven, Connecticut just to eat pizza.
Sure.
Just not a thing I'm going to do.
That makes sense.
Number 3 for me is whiskey.
Okay.
I love
I
whiskey.
thought we were doing foods.
Alcohol's food. It's got calories.
Okay.
But yeah, whiskey for me, just again, it's a nostalgia thing ever since I've been old enough to drink. My dad and I, whiskey gingers for the Super Bowl, just kind of what we've done. It's a nostalgia thing. Plus, like, as you can kind of see, let me see if I can like tilt the camera over there. Like, I have a lot of whiskey, so I like to drink it.
Man, the funny thing is, like, I've really hit on the ones that I like always have, because for the most part, growing up, we didn't really do much for the Super Bowl. Like,
Hmm.
we definitely didn't go all out. It was like, hey, let's watch and have some snacks, which was usually your or your some little smokies and shit. So I'm trying to think of anything else that I might be missing out on from food before I just say like beer, because like beer, right? Beer has to be on the list, in my opinion, because I didn't do like whiskey ever on a Super Bowl. I've always
My
had beer.
my dad, much like myself, can't really drink too much beer, or else we get like gout and stuff like that. So we never really had a ton of beer growing up. Um, and I say growing up, I mean even as an adult, like he drinks whiskey and ginger. Like that's his go-to. Um, so, but I mean, yeah, beer for most people, my whiskey would be beer for them. Like beer is just kind of like you have beer during the Super Bowl. It's just kind of a thing.
Yeah, just in general, like drink during the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Um, for me, again, maybe it's nostalgia. I'm gonna say the broad category and then narrow it down to the nostalgic part. Pretzels.
Okay.
And that's because one of the desserts that my family has kind of always made for everything is chocolate covered pretzels.
Okay. Like,
And
is it like almond bark? Do they just like melt some almond bark, or what do they do?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Just melt almond, double boil almond bark, and then just
Yeah.
toss the pretzels in it.
Yeah.
We don't do we do like the little twist pretzels too. We don't do like the pretzel logs. It's more my aunts. They do that, but they don't come over for the Super Bowl. So that one's definitely up there for me as well.
Good one. Okay. I had to refer to Carly to defer to her because I couldn't think of anything else. And she said, well, she agrees with me with Little Smokies. So she isn't listening to the podcast right now, or otherwise she'd know I had already said that. But also, she said buffalo chicken dip, which is huge.
Yes. Yep. My mom makes
Definitely high on the list of must-haves.
My mom makes the best buffalo chicken dip that I have ever had. I will stand by that sentiment until the day I die. So I agree with you there. That one's probably my number 5.
She corrected me and said I need to say buffalo chicken dick, not dip.
I too like buffalo chicken dick.
I can tell the backstory on that one, I guess, if you really want.
I mean,
if you want me to interrupt you again.
You might as well.
So when Carly and I were still dating back in Iowa, one time she lived with 4 roommates, I think at the time, 3 or 4 roommates, whatever it was, and we'd always just hang out at their place. And we went over there, or we were on the couch. I'm pretty sure, and like, correct me if I'm wrong on the story, and she can correct via message or whatever. But anyway, we were sitting on the couch, and her friend came home, just fucking hammered, and she loved buffalo chicken dip. And so do you remember Hy-Vee, the store Hy-Vee?
Yeah.
So Hy-Vee is a grocery store for those that don't know. But anyway, they used to like have pre-prepared food that you could go and pick up or whatever, and she would always go and pick up the fucking pre-made buffalo chicken dip that they had.
Nice.
And so one time she comes home, she's just hammered and walks in the door, and when she walks in, she's just like, "I need buffalo chicken dick." And we're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And she just like had to fucking feed for this shit, and goes and gets her like fucking plastic clear tub of buffalo chicken dip out of
That's
the
that's a vibe right there.
I could be a little off on my story. I don't know. It's pretty close. Either way, it was so fucking funny. She's just hammered. It was like, I just need buffalo chicken dick right now.
That's amazing. I love that.
Good. We had a good laugh about it. And obviously we had, because it stuck with us, and we still fucking say that stupid shit today.
Zach mentions in the comments here that he also grew up in Iowa.
Feel free to throw out in the comment. Let me know where. I can tell you
Kyle
Iowa stories anytime.
Kyle's just slowly running into the fact that
an Iowa person. So
Kyle's just slowly running into the fact that like everybody in the fantasy community somewhat knows each other, because that's how I know
it's
Zach.
so strange.
Zach's from the fantasy community, and Zach, there's an account, Nick Pentecoff. I think I'm saying his name right.
Yeah.
Kyle went to high school with him, and
indeed.
Nick and I just interact all the time on Twitter, and then Kyle just texts me. He goes, "No fucking way you go to your fantasy friends with somebody that I went to high school with."
And the crazy thing is I really haven't talked to him in 10 years.
Yeah,
ish.
It's
because I just had my 10-year reunion. Well, I didn't go, but it's been 10 years since I graduated high school, and I think that's round about the same time that I talked to him. Oh, fuck yeah, dude! I grew up in Cedar Falls. My buddy, one of my really good friends, and actually one of my roommates at one point in time in college, grew up there as well in Cedar Rapids. So
Yeah, good old Iowa, man.
Yeah, dude. Everywhere's close, man. Like if you're in any like the semi-major cities, like they're all
Yeah, they're
you know where everybody else is from. Like when you start naming little ass fucking towns in the middle of like Western Iowa and Southwestern Iowa, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. Like I have no idea where you're from, but
you telling me you never been to Montezuma?
I actually have. Yeah, that's not.
Been to Lake Ponderosa on Montezuma or in Montezuma?
No, I don't think so.
Damn, then why were you in Montezuma?
I don't know. Is there something
That's the
there?
only thing in the fucking town.
I don't know.
It was
Dude,
literally like
I've been there. I don't know. I don't fucking know, dude.
it's the most of the people that have been there. It's like 30 minutes from Grinnell, so you kind of just
You, you find your way into random ass places there. Grinnell. Carly used to spend a lot of time in Grinnell. I never really did. I've been there, but I didn't spend time there.
we used to go there for like when we had a lake house in Montezuma. That's why I've been there.
Yeah.
And we used to go into Grinnell for like nicer dinners. There was a steakhouse where like they literally just had like a freezer, and you would like just grab your own cuts of meat out of it, and you would then
Dude,
go,
meat
they
lockers
had, like,
in the Midwest are the best.
yeah, absolutely. It was so good. We used to do it all the time. That's where I really like started. I didn't like. Funny enough, I love steak, but I didn't like steak until we started going to that place. I would start with like ham steaks. That's what I would always get there, and then my dad was like, "Try real steak." I was like, "Okay," and then I was like, "Holy shit, ribeye!"
Iowa representatives, right?
Yeah, Uncle Kyle lives in Iowa too, so
Yeah.
he's right outside of Des
Uncle
Moines.
Kyle's
so.
a Des Moines guy. Yeah. Carly
And
grew up near Des Moines.
My mom's side of the family grew up just over the river from Davenport, so Iowa loud and proud over here, man.
I guess so. It's funny too because now I like, not like, I don't intentionally avoid Iowa. I guess I wouldn't say it that way, but I just don't go home.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I have anything that really pulls me back other than family.
I mean, it's
But I
Iowa.
haven't
There's
been
not a
home in
lot
2
there,
years,
admittedly. You got a lot of corn.
You do have a lot of corn,
Really good at wrestling in that state.
fucking
let me
love
tell
corn.
you. I don't.
and they are good wrestlers.
That's all I got.
It's a big wrestling.
Really good at developing tight ends in the
World's
for the
largest
NFL.
frying pan, Brandon, Iowa.
World's largest truck stop,
That's
also
true.
in
Mhm.
Iowa.
It's true.
Love that truck stop.
It's a
by
real
the way.
thing.
Truck stop's a vibe.
I believe that at any given time, they have a lot of rankings on the party schools.
Yeah,
Hawkeyes are usually up there for tailgate and party schools.
I've had a.
Nobody
I've
cares
been,
about Ames, so
I was gonna say I've been to a couple parties in Ames.
lames.
Yeah,
Nobody
shit
cares.
happens. Anyways, that's
You're
really
welcome.
all of our NFL topics for.
I can't believe that wasn't a real topic. Oh man.
We can, like I said, we can
forgot.
count me using
Yeah.
that as one of my topics if we want, just because there's not a lot to talk about with the NFL right now.
Sure. Yeah. I don't care.
So, Kyle, what's your first topic for the week?
15 minutes away from your home, huh, Zach? Go send a pic with the frying pan to our Twitter.
Yes, please.
Let everybody see the giant frying pan. All right. My first topic is, and both of mine are kind of on the same similar concept, I guess, for today, but I thought about this when we were having a conversation pre-podcast last week, and then I don't know how good of a topic it's going to be. It might not take very long to talk about this. I don't know, but it was funny because I was thinking about it, and Jake and I were talking about, for whatever reason, I had shouted like my pants size to Carly last week. I was like, what's funny? Like, it's funny how unrealistic like my concept of how to wear pants, I guess, was when I was younger. Like so.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with shoe size, which is why I wanted to like talk about it and bring it up because I think it's funny. Because I think when you're a kid and you're growing up and you start, going like as you're getting older, you're like, oh, I want that next size shoe. Like for whatever reason, that's like something
Yeah.
you want. Like you want your feet to be bigger for whatever fucking reason.
Because you think it's well for me is because my doctors always told me like if you have big feet, you're gonna be tall.
Oh,
And
yeah.
here I am. They were always like, based on your feet, you're gonna be like 6'3". Here I am sitting at fucking 5'9.5", calling myself 5'10" on a good day.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
with
yeah.
fucking size 12 feet, so no shoe looks good on me.
Well,
Got these fucking clown feet walking around.
I remember, like, my mom would take me like shoe shopping when I was a kid, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm ready for the 10 now. Like, put me in that fucking size 10." And it's like I wore like an 8.5. You know what I mean? Like, there was no fucking reason to, like wear it, but you always wanted to like get into the bigger. And I just thought that was funny. And like conceptually, like I think there's so many different things where like pants too. Like, not only was it a style just to wear longer pants, but I remember where one time I was going to get jeans, and at the time I was like a 32, and I probably should have been like a 32-30. But I bought 32-32, and like my grandpa was significantly taller than me and was a 32-inch inseam. And when my grandma told him, he's like, "Oh yeah, I got new pants." And he's like, "Oh," and like he like looked or whatever, and he's like 32-32. He's like, "This is like my size." He's like, "Dude, you're like 4 inches shorter than me. Like, what the fuck are you doing?" It's like, these long ass pants where
I
you
did
don't
that
need this
too.
shit. And it was just so funny. Like when I think about it, I'm like, why the fuck did we do that?
Bro, can we, if you think about it too, like for a lot of people anyway, like for me, like when I was younger, I wanted to like buy bigger clothes, like bigger pants, bigger
Yeah.
shirts. I wanted to be a large. And now that
Yeah.
I'm an adult, I'm like, can I fit in a medium? Like, did the
Yeah.
medium here
I
work
know
for
I
me?
can't.
Or if it's Carhartt, it's like, I need a small. Like, Carhartt small is most
Yeah.
brands
Yeah.
large.
Yeah.
But I'm like, now I'm like, it's like you grow up and you're trying, it's like kind of just everything. Like, you want to grow up, you want to get bigger. And then, like, now that we're adult and we're all like have body dysmorphia and we're all super self conscious because of social media, we're like, let's go to the smaller sizes now.
It's
right?
just funny how like it's not even that. It's just you stop feeling the need to like fake something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
that too.
you no longer have this notion that you need to do something to impress or to feel accomplished because of those silly, stupid, fucking trivial things that didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Like how is me wearing a 32-inch like inseam when I'm fucking a 30-inch inseam gonna do anything for me at all?
Yeah. Also,
It's
like,
not.
who
Just-
are you? Who are you talking to your pant size about? Like, hey, guys, guess what I got this weekend? Got them 32s.
But and I think part of it was just like a trendy, but you don't really understand the concept of like how pants should fit.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they should rest like they shouldn't be bunched at your shoes, right? Like they should rest like just at the top of the shoe. Like certain things that you just don't give a shit about when you're a kid, and like you don't
Yeah.
understand how pants should fit. So you probably wasted just fuckloads of money growing up on pants that just fit horribly.
Well, and also to that, like, where like what is considered your waist
Mm-hmm.
is not where
It's
I
like
wear
3
my.
inches lower than your waist.
Yeah, it's not where I wear my pants at all.
3 inches higher. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of that part of clothes shopping just doesn't make sense. But I also did the exact same things you're talking about. I wanted the bigger shoes. I wanted to like. I think I bought a pair of 34-inch inseam pants at one point. And I'm
I'm
like I
almost
said,
positive I never went that crazy.
I'm like 5'9.5". I've been this height since I was like
Yeah.
14. And I'm pretty
It's funny
sure I
'cause
once bought like
I'm-
a 32, 34.
I'm only a couple years older than you, so this might not apply to you, but you probably at least would connect with this on some level. But did you ever buy like Jinkos or any variety
Yes.
of jeans that were very similar to
Yes,
that?
I did.
And so I think I had if I think about it, I'm pretty sure I had like a pair, but it wasn't like the ridiculous ones that had the
Yeah,
just
I didn't have
massive,
the-
like bell bottom, you know what I mean?
I didn't have the wildly baggy
Yeah.
ones.
So I think I just had like big pants.
Yeah.
But like even when I got older, right? Like I was still buying like I was just going through old clothes and getting rid of shit, which is why I kind of thought about this too. But I pull out a pair of pants and yeah, Uncle Kyle said he grew up in JNCOs, which is and so did I. Like I grew like in that style trend. Like I didn't
Yeah.
wear them that often. I've pretty much always been kind of like a Levi's kid for the most part. But I do remember, buying pants even in my college days where they were so long that they would sit underneath of my shoe when I walked. Like,
Yeah.
why the fuck did I do that? Especially living in the Midwest, because they were constantly soaked by the fucking snow
Yep.
or the rain, and then
Yeah,
they were
worst.
just fray and rip. And I found old pants in my closet that were just like the back of the ankle
Yeah,
of my
it's
pants
just
was just
gone.
shredded.
Yeah.
It's a fucking hole. I'm like, why did I do that? I just don't get it. So I don't know. I just thought it was funny to think about and kind of conceptualize, and I was curious, it. And I know that it's probably not regional, but I'm curious if like that's like a universal experience for people of our generation, and it probably is. I don't know.
I think it was like, I don't know. I always remember I was the first kid to wear like, I won't say skinny jeans, but like fitted jeans, like not super baggy ones. And that was like when I was doing it, it was weird. Like
It's funny too, because when I think about that though, like even when I wore skinny jeans, like literally even wearing those like skinny pants,
yeah.
I still had them down past my ankle and rubbing on the fucking ground.
See, when I got to that point, I didn't do it really, but there was a time in my life where I was specifically, I remember being upset at the way that my jeans sat on top of my shoes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, yeah.
Which is where they should fucking sit.
Right. But yeah, so I think it is universal because like I would buy like the more like I wore joggers before joggers were a thing. I wore tighter jeans before tighter jeans were a thing. Like I was going
I
to
don't know if I believe that one.
really not like a thing, but like when it was like in our age
Joggers
group,
I might believe, but I don't believe tight jeans.
like I have a picture of me from when I was like 12 So this
You
is
probably,
that.
you probably just had shitty fitting pants, and you're like, yeah, it was trendy.
No, I'm saying it wasn't. I was wearing it before it was trendy.
Yeah,
Like
okay. All
like
right.
I'm trying like kind of a hipster, not kind of. But like I
Yeah.
literally had like girl jeans when I was like 12 or
Yeah, I did
13.
the same kind of shit when I was in like middle school because I was like, the fucking hardcore kid or whatever,
Yep, same.
whatever you want to, the
Um,
garage band hangout kid.
but then I would go to like Zoomies and PacSun and I'd buy all my jeans there and like
PacSun, yeah, PacSun. I had a lot of PacSun jeans.
I had a lot of
Um, a couple from like Hot Topic too, because Hot Topic had their own brand of jeans for a while that weren't like not like the chain ones. That's not what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but like just regular ass pants.
yeah, I was Zoomies first, mostly just because Zoomies did a lot of sales, and I was a skater kid too.
Same, yeah.
So like I wanted like to wear Zoomies stuff and like be sponsored by Zoomies.
Zoomies didn't exist where I lived for a long time. You had to either drive to probably Cedar Rapids, and maybe Zach knows that, I don't know, but or Des Moines to go to a Zoomies. We had Hot Topic and we had PacSun. That was it.
Yeah, PacSun was like later on because when I was younger, Zoomies would always do sales. They'd do like the back to school sales where you get like 3 pairs of jeans, 2 shirts, and a hoodie, and it'd be like $100.
That kind of surprises me actually, because Zoomies is one of the more expensive places.
They used to do like sales like that all the time. And maybe it's because we had like an outlet mall and
Yeah.
the Zoomies was in the outlet mall, but it wasn't like a Zoomies outlet. It was always just
Right.
Zoomies. So I don't know.
I didn't really discover Zoomies until college when I was started like, meandering around a little bit more in Iowa. And I remember going in and being like, fucking A, man, I'm about to spend $35 on a t-shirt, which was absurd.
Yeah,
still-
it did get more expensive as time went on. Like once skating became more like I wouldn't say mainstream, but more like financially successful for the companies that were within the space. Like
It's
I
funny
d-
because you say that, and I have this maybe just a different perspective on the popularity of that culture than you do. Because I remember when I think I was 7 years old when I dropped in for the first time, something like that. Because I remember comparing my age to the height of the ramp that I was dropping in on, because the highest one in my hometown was a 7-foot ramp, and I remember doing it at like a very similar age to the
Yeah.
height, and I thought that was pretty fucking cool, when I was a kid. But I remember like that culture was huge then, and I'm a couple years older than you, so like this like the skateboarding culture has been profitable and huge since the
But-
80s. I don't know, maybe 70s.
like the time when I was going to Zoomies is when like Ryan Sheckler had a TV show. Bam Margera was just like finishing up having it. Like it was super mainstream at the point.
It's funny that
like-
you'd point to Sheckler as your first example, because Sheckler was the
He was a
post
kid.
Bam Margera age.
Yeah,
what I mean?
he was a kid.
And Bam Margera, I would argue, is probably like one of the heights of the culture in terms of
Yeah.
popularity and trendiness, and people dressing like that and everything.
Yeah, but I think the brands like took time to get to that point. I don't know.
Some of them, sure. I get what you're saying. I think the true like people that were involved in that culture and like were the skater kids, like actually like were like skating, was the Bam Margera era. And
Yeah.
then I think it extended because of popularity of like girls were drooling over Ryan Sheckler. I remember that. And, like,
Right.
it was girls that were like, the preppy girls, for lack of a better term, in my high school, were like, oh, Ryan Sheckler. I'm like, do you even know who that fucking is?
Yeah.
Because I was a skater kid. I just
Have you
like,
watched
you're
his
not cool
demo
enough to
tape?
be the-
I
you know
just
what
watched his new release this weekend, dog.
Yeah, it's funny. I get I think that's what you're trying to say. Maybe I'm wrong, but like the trendiness expanding to that other.
Yeah, I think at that time like they
Market.
were just they were trying to attack like the mainstream markets and could charge a
Yeah.
little bit more because like the rich kids wanted to be skater kids at that
Sure.
point.
Yeah.
Whereas like when we were coming out the mud for to say that
You said that, I'm not gonna lie.
I wanted to say that as cringe. I wanted that to be as
Oh,
cringy
that
as
was
possible. But yeah, like when we were coming up, like it was just cheaper. But then we went over to PacSun, and then that's when I was spending like $60 on a pair of jeans. And now,
It's so funny that you say that, because my experience was exactly the
no,
opposite.
PacSun. I remember, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I remember PacSun jeans being way more expensive than Zoomies were.
Dude, that was the thing, right? It was like when I'd go school shopping or whatever when I was younger. PacSun was the store that did what you were describing from Zoomies, which was like you go and you buy 3 pairs of jeans. It was like buy one get 2 free.
Yeah, I
It'd be,
remember
like, 3
them
pairs
doing
of jeans
that.
for like $60 or something. You know what I mean? Like they had pretty fucking good deals.
Yeah.
And it was one of the only places where you could buy Vans at the time.
Yep.
So I'd like go to PacSun to get my shoes. I don't think Journeys was a thing yet. I wonder when Journeys came to my hometown.
I
have
want
no
to say
idea.
Journeys
when did Journeys
was.
become a thing?
I want to say Journeys was always a thing around us, but I don't think I've ever purchased anything from Journeys in my life.
Oh, for real? I
Yeah,
definitely did.
I
They
don't.
started having pretty good deals on shoes.
I was always like Zumiez PacSun, and then like as I got older, I went through like the Abercrombie era and the American Eagle era, and I'm still an American Eagle fanboy. American Eagle
Ugh.
jeans are absolute best jeans you can buy right now
Um,
for the price.
I disagree. I
I've also
love Levi's.
I've never owned a pair of Levi's.
You're fucked up.
I
my
bought
friend.
them one time from Kohl's, and then when I left the store, I was like on the phone, so I wasn't paying attention to what I was spending, and then I realized I spent like $75 on a pair of khakis.
Dude,
Like,
well, that's the funny thing about Levi's is kind of like what you're saying with just random ass deals. Is Levi's are, I would say, debatably one of the most affordable outside of like your Walmart store brand stuff, like your generic store brand stuff. If you're gonna buy like a brand name jean, Levi's is probably one of the most affordable because they have so many deals.
they do
Like if you go
have
to Kohl's to buy
deals,
Levi's and you are paying full price, like whatever's on the fucking tag, you're doing it wrong
yeah, I can see
because
that.
they are constantly on sale.
Yeah, they're like $40.
I
40
don't
bucks,
think Levi's are very expensive.
40ish if you get them on the website. But also American Eagle, I go when they go on sale. I paid like $25 for 2 pairs. They stretchy. I
It's
can
funny
bend in
'cause,
them.
like I said, we were getting rid of old clothes, and I think one of the cringiest phases of my entire jean wearing life was buckle jeans.
I've never bought anything from Buckle in my entire
Carly
life.
was working at Buckle at the time, so I needed to go in there and find a reason to be in Buckle, work some
Right.
buckle jeans. And I had 2 pairs. One of them was pretty normal, and one of them was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
I got close to buying a pair of boots from Buckle one time.
Like cowboy boots.
Yeah,
or
like
work
cowboy
boots?
boots.
Oh yeah. It's funny how that Buckle became, the trendy store for people like in like the country culture
Yeah,
because it's such a fucking mainstream and like
yeah, everything was
bougie ass
so
store,
expensive.
but they've somehow their fucking Miss Me jeans and like sequin shit became popular amongst the country generation or culture. It's kind of weird.
Uncle Kyle says Walmart sells Levi's now. Do
I
they
think
sell
they have for a
Levi's
long
or do they
time.
sell like Denizen? I know that's like the
So,
budget.
What's
Levi
the other one
brand.
outside of Denizen? There's another one that's like very comparable to Levi, and I think Walmart sold them for a long time. But I wouldn't be surprised if Levi's over at Walmart now. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Dockers is Levi.
No.
It's Levi Strauss.
It could have been like a Walmart like in-house brand, and I'm just confusing it. But I remember there was a brand that was very comparable, but was sold in your big supermarket stores.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you want to call them?
I don't think it was a Levi Strauss brand, but
Superstores, I guess.
Signature by Levi Strauss, maybe. I don't know.
No, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
But yeah,
Who's selling the brand?
I definitely went through the same cringy clothes era of
Yeah.
wearing obnoxiously I also with like the baggy jeans. Did you wear basketball shorts that went past your knee?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Always. Well, always. Yeah. Not only did I wear basketball shorts past my knees, but I would wear basketball shorts under my jeans sometimes.
Yep, I would do that.
Yeah.
I got made fun. I didn't get made fun of for like my family made fun of me for it. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's what the kids are doing.
Dude, so many weird trends and like
Yeah.
phases. I remember when I was in high school, I went through a phase where I like wouldn't wear a t-shirt without a white shirt under it, but I wanted the white shirt to like show.
Yep.
So I always had an
do,
undershirt.
Do you remember the shirts that had sewn in long sleeves?
Yeah.
I had
yeah.
so many of those.
Yeah.
The dumbest fucking thing.
But it would be like a short sleeve shirt and a short sleeve shirt. Like I would wear white short sleeves under a black short sleeve t-shirt, but I wanted the white to show. It was weird.
weird.
I feel like I remember like getting called out for that too. Somebody was like, "Why do you always have a fucking white shirt?"
Maybe it's because we were an athlete, but we always wore
I thought that
fightins,
was-
which were like those necklaces that were like infused with titanium, and it helps with athletic performance and
man.
balance.
Dude, do
we
you
would
remember-
always wear those.
Do you remember the bracelets that were like that? They
Yes.
were like a rubber bracelet, but they had that little
Yes.
disc on them.
Yep,
It was literally
I
like a
had-
sticker on rubber.
Yep.
And they were like, it increases performance and
Had it.
concentrates
Believed
positive
it.
energy.
Believed it and wore it. You
Dude,
bet
it's
your
funny
ass
because
I
maybe
did.
that was like the moment I matured intelligently in my life, or like the start of it. Because I remember those coming out, and I was like, "That's the stupidest shit I've heard of in my life. Like,
Yeah.
why are people buying this?" And they're like
That's-
$25 fucking dollars.
That's when you
I
became
couldn't
an
believe
adult.
it.
I think I stole one. I think like my friend took it off one day, and I was like,
Because that was like right post Livestrong era.
Yeah.
And I remember Livestrong was like, if you didn't have a brand name Livestrong bracelet on your wrist, you were nothing.
"Do you remember the I love boobies phase?"
I do, and that was another phase that I never really jumped in on. But
I
think
wore
that one
like
was-
3 of them. I had like wristbands up to like here.
were you around for the trend that was pre Livestrong, where it was the thin like gel bracelets, and you would like fold them, and you'd have two. I'll have to send you a picture. I bet I can find one. But
Are you talking about the ones that were shaped like animals?
no.
Oh,
No.
I was around for that phase.
By the way, Journeys came about in 1986, so they've been around a lot longer than I thought.
While you're looking
More
that
popular
up,
in 2000.
I finished my first beer, 6.2. It's not bad. I would drink it again, but I'm not gonna drink it right. I'm not gonna drink another one anytime soon.
When I send you this picture, you're gonna know exactly what I was talking about.
All right. What do you give your first beer?
8.0.
That might be one of your higher ratings.
It was, and I'm like really hoping that it wasn't higher rated than any of my Belching Beaver.
Belching Beaver, I think, is still your highest at an 8.5.
Okay. This was really good, though. I was really pleased with it.
My next beer, while Kyle is sending me this, I'm assuming he's sending it on Twitter.
Yeah, I just sent you a Google link. You'll see. You'll know what I'm talking about as soon as you open
Let's
it.
see. Oh, yeah. I was around for that phase. I never did.
That was huge. Like amongst my peer group or whatever, like in my school. If you had to have them. It started off with like the goth kids wearing them with like all black, right?
Yeah.
But then it expanded and like all of a sudden everyone was wearing them, but they were like multicolor.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd trade them at school and shit.
Yeah, we would do that with like the ones that were shaped like animals. Like we did that, and then we would trade them around. Which, if you in the link that you sent me, I'll send this. It's one of the like recommended ones under the first picture, but they're like different colors, but they were like shaped like animals.
I'm just looking at the link that I sent you. Oh, I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like they were
it was like an outline of an animal.
Yeah, like they were shaped like animal. So we did that, and then. Do you remember these? The Lokai bracelets? I still think they're dope.
I need to post a picture of this on our Twitter so everybody knows what we're talking about when it comes to these bracelets, and we're not just verbally trying to describe these, because I'm sure there's gonna be a fuckload of people who are like, "Oh my god, I remember that shit."
The Lokai bracelets are the ones that are circles, but it's like all black circles and then one white dot, and then you get another one that was all white circles with one black dot.
What'd you send it to me on?
I didn't send that one to you, but I will send it to you now.
Okay, I'll take a look.
On Twitter.
Either way, dude, it's so funny because like the more we talk about this, the more things that are like coming to mind for me, and then I just get reminded of like the goofy shit that we did.
Did you ever own Osiris shoes?
Oh, absolutely. That was a part of the skating culture.
Never
did.
Huge.
Before they became these fucking giant marshmallows, like they were always big shoes. Osiris was a huge skating brand.
I was a DC kid.
They had
the huge tongue, but they like the shoes themselves weren't big. I really liked DC shoes. Obviously was a Vans kid. Did you have a Chuck Taylor phase?
I had Chuck Taylors. I did not.
I had a huge Chuck Taylor phase. I so badly want they have like the Off-White Converse. Yeah. Like the Off-White Converse collab. I so badly want a pair of those.
I'm trying to remember if it was DC's or which brand it was. It was one of the skater shoe brands. And it had a British flag on the side of it. Do you remember that? It was a black shoe and they had like a British flag. I had those shoes and I have no idea why, but I thought I was the coolest fucking kid in the world with those shoes. I'm trying to remember what brand sold those. I think maybe it was Etnies.
Maybe. I was a huge Etnies kid.
Trying to figure it out now.
I'm literally Googling black skate shoe with British flag.
I tried to do that too. I didn't find it right away.
Are they these? Globe?
Oh, it was Globes. It was
Globes. Yeah.
So I went through a Globe phase too, because that wasn't my only pair.
I had like the all black Globes with the gum bottoms.
Okay.
Uncle Kyle says Etnies for life. I still would rock a pair if I had my old ones.
It's so funny because I'm looking at all these pictures of shoes now, and I'm just like almost physically cringing at how awful some of these are.
Speaking of clothing phases, being from Iowa, did you ever have like a redneck phase?
No, I honestly, so like I didn't. No is the easy answer.
I did.
I was a part of the skater scene for a majority of my life, and you can kind of attribute that to who my brothers were, because they were both a part of that same type of scene, or some variety of. And so I grew up in that scene, and then I think I would just say I kind of like neutraled my way out towards my senior year of high school, where I wasn't like really in that scene, but I also wasn't like adapting into any other.
Yeah, that's like, kind of how it's kind of like the same route I went. Like I would wear whatever I wanted, and like some days I'd be like dressed more like preppy, and then other days I'd be more like
I kept
had
the style. I just didn't like. I wasn't like going to garage bands every weekend. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I had gotten rid of a lot of my tendencies, but I was still dressing the same.
Yeah, makes sense.
I wore blue jeans though more often instead of black jeans as I grew up.
I had a huge redneck phase, like
Many
right
college
after
boys
high
had
school.
black jeans.
Like right after high school, like freshman sophomore year of college, I had a huge like I was wearing like camo, Carhartt everything, wearing
No, I definitely didn't do
boots.
that.
I
I did.
regret
My
that
aunt bought me a
phase.
pair of cowboy boots.
I love
I
cow.
didn't
I
wear.
was
I didn't wear them that much though.
mine were more like waterproof, like hunting boots than they were cowboy boots. I still want a pair of cowboy boots.
I haven't, and they were a really nice pair. To her credit, she spent a lot of money on those to get me a nice pair, and I wore them for a bit, and then I stopped. But
Well,
I would say that's the closest I've ever been to like a country phase, and then really even then it was just the boots.
yeah.
I bought like a first flannel in my life, like for the intention of like looking that style, maybe in college when I would go to the Jones County Fair in Iowa. Shout out to the Jones County Fair, great time.
Shout out. Anyways, that's I think a good way to end your first topic. Talking about
Sure, and it wasn't even really like a good topic. It was just like
yeah, we turned it into a good
place
conversation though.
place to start conversations.
That's what you get on Two Average Husbands, new listeners. You get conversation.
Sure is. And now
Anyways,
I need to open my second beer.
I do too. I am drinking Poppin' Pastels by my favorite brewery, Transient Artisan Ales. Shout out Transient, please sponsor us. Which is a sour wheat ale with Cara Cara orange, tangerine, milk sugar, and vanilla.
Ooh,
We fancy
milk
out
sugar.
here.
That sounds kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't. It's in a lot of beers.
I am having Mother Road Brewing, conserve and protect, golden ale, fancy can with that some deer and a what looks like a Ford Bronco.
Something tells me you're gonna regret having the better beer first.
I don't know that this is gonna be bad. It's just gonna be lighter.
I don't think it's gonna be bad, but you know, like
It
it's like
says it's best enjoyed from a picnic cooler. I'm not doing that.
interesting. I'm actually
And it says
disappointed that
from
you're
the
not
can.
popping a cooler out right now.
I might have to drink this straight out of the can.
It's
It's from Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm trying to find a percentage on this can as well. There it is. Oh, it is a whopping 4.3%, which is significantly less than the 10% beer that I just had.
Yeah, I'm also. This one's 5%.
So
Looks
this
like
is literally just going to be a nice.
looks like a mimosa.
Classic light
to be
beer.
honest.
That's not bad.
Anyways, Kyle, I
I
wanted
was
to
really
ask
hoping you
you.
were going to say, Kyle, what is your second topic? I was
That would have
like,
been
You
hilarious.
motherfucker.
No,
Yeah, go ahead, what's up?
so as you can see, I've in a different setup than I was last week.
Sure.
The closet desk project has been started, and by been started I mean I took the doors off my closet, and my previous setup is now in there because I can't find anybody who wants to cut a butcher's block for me. So if anybody out there's got a butcher block guy, let me know. Otherwise,
Do you not just know somebody with like a saw?
no.
Or are you saying you want it like custom cut so that you only buy the cut piece?
Yeah, I want to just only buy the cut piece.
Gotcha.
I don't want to have to buy it and then cut it down. Seems like a lot of extra work. But I also just have some very important news. Kyle has been hammering me every time we talk about computers for Newegg Shuffle, and I remind him that I've probably been doing it longer than he has. I was finally selected today.
You were.
The 3070 Ti is on the way. Don't tell my wife. But
I just.
Kyle, if you were advising somebody right now when it comes to computers, would you tell them to go the pre-built route, or would you tell them to wait and slowly buy parts as they can?
That's a good question. I think in the market that there is right now, and part of the reason I can't maybe answer this with any definitive response is because I just have never even thought about buying a pre-built in my life, because the thing that I enjoy the most about the PC process is building it myself. I think that is the most enjoyable part. Customizing it, putting it together, feeling like the first time you boot that thing up, you're like, holy fuck, I made this computer work, which is awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That being said, like it's funny because you if you don't know anything about building a computer, it seems like this daunting task that must be impossible, and you're going to be soldering circuit boards, and that's not how building a computer works for the average, PC builder. So, But I still think it's a fun experience, and I think it's worth doing. With that being said, I think right now in the market as is, I think you might be better off in the pre-built sphere, especially if you don't feel like you're really in it for the build itself, because there are so many third-party retailers now that will customize and build it just the way that you want it anyway. So if you just are in it for the I want this to be the way that I want it type of PC and some performance and gaming, there's plenty of companies that'll do that for you.
Yeah.
The companies themselves have a significantly higher accessibility to parts than you do.
Yep.
They can buy directly from the producers, like NZXT and shit like that. They're going straight to NVIDIA to get their parts. They're not fucking ordering them off of Newegg, So the chances of you getting the parts that you want are probably higher that way too, if you're not sitting and waiting and refreshing on Newegg trying to get or get the Newegg shuffle or whatever. So I think probably the pre-built, if you're not in it for the experience, is my answer.
Yeah, I'm sadly in the same boat right now. I say this having done it. Forever I told people build yourself. It's way better. There's no markup. You get the parts for what they cost. But like you're saying right now, like with things seemingly not getting much better, I hear rumors that things are getting better, and then we hear reports that they aren't getting better, and then there's rumors again, and then there's rumors of both ways.
Yeah.
And it's just so inconsistent and such an inconvenient market right now. I've been signing up for a raffle for over a year. Yeah. And I didn't even get the graphics card that I wanted, but I got one that was close. It's better than the one I wanted.
Yeah.
But I'm also
that was the problem with me when I got picked up for Newegg Shuffle. It was like, because I had just been blanket like selecting every one that they had on their market. Like I wasn't even like looking for graphics cards that I wanted versus didn't want. I just picked all of them to try to put myself in the raffle for.
Right.
Which is probably part of the reason why I got selected so quickly.
Probably.
When I got selected, I was like, holy fuck. I got selected. Holy fuck, that thing is way more than I needed or wanted.
Same.
And then I bought it anyway.
But that's where I'm at too. And now it's like, do I have to upgrade the rest of my parts? I think I have to.
I almost did.
Like,
Logan wants some RAM.
Bro, I ordered this RAM for Logan, and it's been I've had to the order's been canceled and resubmitted like 4 different times.
Is it Newegg?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Logan, we'll talk. Maybe I'll cut you a deal with if you want to buy my graphics card too. Yeah. It'd be a huge improvement. So like, if I'll pull up the tier list for reference. Anybody who doesn't know, there is a graphics card tier list on Tom's Hardware, where they ran graphics cards with essentially the same processor for every single test, and you can kind of see the scale, like where they score at. So like 100% being the best, and then down from there on various. I don't know if it's various GPU benchmarks or they did a specific test for it, but a 3090 is pinnacle. That is your 100%.
Yeah.
The card that I'm getting, the 3070 Ti, is 81.5%. My previous card, the 5700 XT, is still very good. It's at 57%, but it's like that huge of an increase. Like I feel like I'm gonna need a better processor, a better motherboard, better RAM to like truly get the best out of it. And that's where building the PC yourself too becomes like what's the term for that? Where like you're always chasing the finish line, but it's always getting farther away.
For what? Sorry.
Just like in general, like there's a term for it where like you're basically like the finish line always gets farther away, but you always get closer to the finish line.
I don't know.
There's a saying that I'm blanking on.
I believe that that's probably true, but I don't know.
But yeah, it's like building a PC turns into that where it's like, oh, now I got this piece. Oh, but now I could upgrade this piece, and now I could upgrade this piece too, and maybe I might as well do this one if I'm doing the other two. Like, that's what it's gonna turn into. Whereas like when you buy a pre-built, you spend your fucking $800 to $2,000, even more sometimes. I think some of them can get up to like 10 grand when you're doing like Threadrippers with maxed out RAM, maxed out motherboard, huge
multiple
case,
GPUs,
yeah, 2 Titans. Like you can go crazy and it can get stupid expensive. But like,
I think I tried to build like the ultimate PC for me on the internet one time, like on PC Part Picker.
Yeah.
And like the most I could get it to get up to, like intentionally trying to make a hugely expensive computer, was like $3,000.
I've got it higher. I promise you that.
I probably could, but I was just like, this is the most I could ever want. I was like,
Yeah.
And that was, 3-4 years ago when parts were cheaper. So
Right. Luckily for me, if I do decide to upgrade the other parts, most of them seemingly aren't having the issues. Like, there's still plenty of processors out there. Like, those haven't been too scarce from what I've seen.
no, not at all.
RAM,
Which
apparently,
is interesting, honestly.
maybe it's just the RAM that I ordered, like,
It probably is.
being a problem. But Logan, like I said, we'll talk. I'll cut you a nice deal. I'll give you my RAM and the graphics card. We'll work out a price. But yeah, like I think with building a PC, it becomes kind of that never-ending journey. Whereas when you're not as invested in it and you just want a PC because you want a game and you want to edit, you want to do whatever you want to do, like that PC is good enough. And if you're not like us weirdos who buy like 2K or 4K monitors and you're chasing like playing your games to ultra settings and all of that, like
Which is
I think
honestly the thing that I need to upgrade the most now is my monitor because my GPU can just go fucking ham.
Kyle's about to buy a 4K monitor. You heard it here first.
I honestly need to.
This man's gonna buy
I don't need to. I should.
fucking Samsung
I want
Odyssey G9. He's gonna buy a 49-inch ultra wide.
I don't think I would like that.
I would hate it. I would never do
I think
it.
I would rather have 2 monitors than 1 huge monitor.
Yes. As somebody with 2 monitors, yes. As somebody who wants a 3rd monitor, quadruple yes.
Yeah.
I want another vertical one on the right. It'll look like the TIE fighters from Star Wars. Imagine spending 1K to suffer through Apex and Tarkov. Logan, I don't have to imagine it.
Dude, people spend $2,000 to play Fortnite, so I mean,
Yeah, literally. Some people spend 10 grand to play Fortnite and stream it with poor settings, so they still somehow only stream in 1440p.
I mean, honestly, if we're being
480p.
realistic, the only people that are buying a $10,000 computer either aren't buying it because it's all sponsored shit that's getting sent to them, or they were disgustingly rich.
10,000 is a blink of an eye to them.
Yeah,
like it's just
your average user. Even I would be super curious if there's anybody out there that is a average consumer that makes a normal ass salary, like at 6 figures or lower, that bought and by at 6 I mean at $100,000 a year or less salary that bought a $10,000 computer.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
I just feel like there can't be that many. It's so unrealistic. It's so 10% of your income if you're on the max side of that.
But like even then,
on a fucking computer,
I'd rather buy a separate like streaming computer. Like most of the people who are in that use case that you're talking about are probably people who have a full-time job but also want to be a streamer, and like they're thinking that if they buy the best product, like they'll perform the best, but really like they'd be better off spending 2K on a PC for gaming and then 2K on a PC for streaming to like stream in super high quality and be able to play in high quality.
You mean
and everything.
I can't stream from my Raspberry Pi?
I mean, you can, I think, but maybe not the best call. Speaking of that, I do want a 3D printer. Anyways, but yeah, like I don't know. I'm definitely, I've always been team build, but right now and for the foreseeable future, you have to lean the pre-built route right now.
And it's funny because, like I said, I say that with absolutely no evidence and no research, but I'm assuming that right now, if you went on PC Part Picker and you built out your ideal computer, and then you found the same exact computer on a third-party vendor that has pre-built it, you will probably get it faster and cheaper.
That's the big thing, is speed. Even if it's not cheaper. Like
because you could sit for months right now waiting to get a GPU.
Yeah, like it's been a year for me. And then I finally got selected today. I didn't even know I got selected. That was the craziest part, is I was so used to filling it out and not getting picked, and I almost didn't look at my email. And then I looked at it right before we got on this, and it was like, Jacob, reminder, you were selected in New Egg Shuffle.
Dude, I remember my internet connection was super shitty when I found out that I got selected, and I was like, oh, fuck, gotta rush, gotta go put the buy order in.
At least you, maybe you had time, though. I had 6 minutes before this podcast started before I wasn't selected anymore.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I've been extremely happy, though. I'm actually kind of surprised that you found a GPU that wasn't combined with a motherboard, because that's how they almost always do it on the New Egg Shuffle.
Every time I see the graphics cards, normally when you click on it, it'll give you like the options that are that graphics card. Yeah. The craziest part is this was one of the ones that was offered today. It was just the graphics card and then the graphics card with the bundle. And I think I clicked both, but I just got selected for the graphics card.
Gotcha. Because I feel like every single one of them when I was trying to get one was a bundle.
Yeah, this wasn't even like the most expensive one that I was like that I clicked on either, which is what blows my mind I think the most.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I'm getting an Asus TUF 3070 Ti.
I also got an Asus TUF, but it is a 3080 Ti.
Yeah, and you also spent at least 50% more than what I spent.
That's almost exactly true, but it was 50% more with a motherboard.
Fuck off. Anyways, yeah, like I selected the exact graphics card with the Z590A Pro ATX Intel motherboard, which would have been funny because I don't even have an Intel chipset. I would have had to buy a completely.
I was actually
new
really
computer.
nervous about that when I started seeing some of those bundles. I was like, oh fuck, what if I get selected for an Intel one? Because then I do have to upgrade.
Yeah,
a
you
lot
have
of
to
different-
rebuild everything.
Yeah, which I ended up pretty much doing a full rebuild anyway. But
Yeah.
that's just because, like you said, the scarcity of things that aren't GPU related isn't nearly as bad. So I was able to build around my GPU.
Yeah. But also like, and that's why I didn't feel like as bad spending the money on it is like, I know what this graphics card is worth, especially with the market now. Like I'm spending what I would have previously spent to upgrade, and I would have just kept this graphics card and just in case.
Yeah.
Whereas like I can just sell it right now. I can get $600 back. I spent $300 on a new graphics card.
Yeah.
Like
The resale market isn't nearly as crazy as it was, though. Trust me. I'm
yeah,
trying to sell a graphics card right now.
I went so like I looked on StockX, looked up my graphics card, and looked at sold. So I know what it is selling for,
Yeah.
which definitely makes it easier. Plus, like I could always sell it to Logan. I have plenty of friends who have built computers who are
Sure.
like like David, one of the common listeners to the podcast. He might even be listening to it right now. I advised him to build, and then it was like right when everything hit to shit. Yep. And so he ended up buying a pre-built, and I told him, whenever I get selected for a new graphics card, I will sell you mine at a pretty good price. And like, so I can hit him up too if Logan doesn't end up wanting it, and see, you know, if that's a route for him to go too. So it's like I know I have options.
That's looking to build right now. So for me, I don't really have that. I just have to throw it on Facebook Marketplace and look for someone to bite.
Well, it'd be that way sometimes. I just wanted to brag. I'm finally getting a new graphics card. Kyle's gonna still hear me bitching about my frame rates. Let me tell you.
Sure.
And now I got to figure out which motherboard I'm buying. Logan just texted me, maybe. But anyways, Kyle, what is your second topic of the week?
My second topic of the week is on the same theme as my previous topic, but I've heard some variation of this bounce around on the internet for different portions of time. But I am curious, what are some fears that you had as a child, or things that you were worried about as a child that are no longer applicable as an adult?
I got a lot.
Or things that you thought would be problems as an adult that are not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you get the distinction?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It either was an actual problem or you just thought it was going to be.
I don't even know what Logan's saying there. We're texting about it now, and he's talking about getting his M.2 switched over, and then says, I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, my other M.2 that has 3 times the storage.
He's
My
trying to
problem
buy
is that
more
my
storage.
M.2 is my boot drive, so instead of probably trashing it, I'm going to take it somewhere.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means. Anyways, yeah, so when I was a kid, I was afraid of the dark. I was scared of heights.
Yeah.
I was deathly afraid of tornadoes. Like, if I knew there was a tornado siren,
I feel like it's a legitimate fear in the Midwest, though.
Yes, but also it would be like there would be like, what's the one that's not, there hasn't been a tornado scene? Tornado watch, I think is that one, like watch first warning.
Watcher, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Sure.
tornado watch. Like if they thought there could be a tornado, I was like having a full blown panic attack. Like it was bad. So those were all fears of mine. I still am slightly afraid of butterflies.
That's a weird one.
There was a SpongeBob episode. If you didn't watch SpongeBob, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you do know SpongeBob, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There was an episode where there was a butterfly in Sandy's dome, and it would land on SpongeBob's helmet that he had to wear to keep the water in.
I think I
And it
remember
would it would like, it was a jump scare. It like cut to a zoomed in butterfly, full buzzing noise and everything. I can probably find a clip of it on YouTube if I really looked for it. And it traumatized me to no end, to the point where like I'm still like, I'm getting over it because I know I'm never gonna see a butterfly like that in my life. But like I still don't love it. And as a result, I don't like when I can hear like the buzzing of bugs near my ear. I still don't like that. The dark was a really bad one. I was afraid of the dark for a really long time.
I think the most common one that I hear when I see some variation of this out in the world is quicksand.
I knew I was never going to run into it.
I don't know that I did. And I feel like most people didn't realize that. I feel like most people were like, this quicksand thing's real. Like, it's fucking terrifying. Like, I could walk out onto a beach and find quicksand.
Yeah, I mean, it's real, but...
I actually saw a video of this recently, too, where somebody had found some quicksand, and they were, like, filming themselves, like, stomping on it. Because it's not like, in a cartoon you see it, and it's like a tornado of sand.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You're like, oh,
not the case
toilet
at
hole
all.
Of sand, and it's literally just, like, wet sand that you sink into.
Yeah.
It's not all that fast.
Yeah.
It's actually quite slow, I think.
So one thing that when I was a kid, I was always afraid of, and as I'm older, I'm not like I thought it would be a problem in my life for some reason, but it definitely isn't, is the concept of like being stuck in the middle of the ocean with nothing surrounding you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just never going to put myself in that situation, so it's never going to be a problem.
Yeah. That is like horrifying though.
It still is like, it's a terrifying concept of just nothingness forever.
Dude, like search and rescue efforts are so much more difficult and like over water too. Like, so the chance of you being found are actually pretty low, I think. I'd have to look at some statistics, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty low. Like, it's very difficult to find somebody.
For sure. And it's just like, but I'm also never going to put myself in a situation where I'm that far away from.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to do that.
The only like situation I could ever think of is like if you're on like a cruise.
I don't want to go on a cruise.
Some sort of a boat trip. But even then, like, modern day technology is so good that like, you're probably broadcasting to some control station, like a GPS coordinate all the time. So they should be able to at least have a good vicinity of where you are.
Yeah. Like, I'm never like, it's just not something I'm ever worried about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other things that like, when I was younger, I thought it would be a problem as an adult, and it's just not.
This is less of a fear and more of like a problem that I had as a kid that I just don't have as an adult. Like stains.
I probably have more stains now.
I don't like, I'm more careful, I think, as an adult, or maybe just more aware of my surroundings. And I don't like ruin clothes because I fucking spilled something on them. Or I'm not like outside rolling in the mud in my clothes, so I don't like get mud stains or anything anymore. But it was such a problem for me as a kid. Like, I was constantly ruining clothes and shoes.
Yeah. For me, it was cell phones. I broke cell phones like it was my fucking job.
That's so funny to me because I think that might be like the dividing factor between my age and your age, which is not that big of a difference.
You're 2 years older. What? 2 years older than me?
I think I'm 3 years older than you.
How old are you gonna be this year again?
29.
Yeah, I turned 27 this year.
Okay, so like 2.5 years.
Yeah,
but it's crazy because I remember like the fact that you say like that was a huge problem for you. Like, people didn't have phones until maybe high school for me. I think I was one of the first people to have a phone, and it's because I bought like a prepaid Nokia brick phone, track phone from Walmart that I could text on, and it cost me like 25 cents a text, and that was the first phone I ever had, and that was like crazy. Like, people were like, "Dude, you have a cell phone?" I was like, "Yeah, I had to pay for it myself." "Oh, how much was it?" It was like $100, and I have to refill it every 6 months or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know, like pay as you go, but.
So I only got a phone because I played sports, and so we'd be at practice until like 5 o'clock. So I had to call or text my parents to come pick us up. Like, that was the only reason I had a phone. But like,
I feel like that was very uncommon for my generation. High school was different. People started getting more commonly cell phones in high school.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm telling Logan how to do shit.
What year did the iPhone come out?
2010, I want to say. First
I'm an
iPhone, 2007. Yeah,
So
2007.
I was in middle school when the first iPhone came out, so I guess
When
it was
my
probably late middle school or early high school then when that started to get popular.
when my dad got the first iPhone is when I got my first cell phone, which was I had an old Motorola Razor. Shout out, greatest phone of all time.
I remember everyone thinking they were the coolest kids in the world for having a Razor, and I was so jealous. I never had one.
To your hard drive.
I went from a
Then
Nokia to like a cheap Samsung flip phone, I believe.
I had one of those little slide up phones.
I had one
broke-
of those. I did
we-
have one of those.
We got them when it was literally like you get 3 phones for the price of one. Like we paid for one, they gave us 3.
Well, dude, it used to be like, when you renew a contract too, that it was any phone that they had for a penny.
Yeah, like when it
Back
was the
in the
2 year
day.
when it was the subsidized contracts.
Yeah. And now that's unheard of.
Yes, it
Like there is no
definitely
such thing as a free phone anymore.
No, you pay monthly or you do the lease if you are on iPhone Forever on Sprint/T-Mobile. As a guy who worked for a phone store for a couple of years, but yeah, I would break. Like it was so not my fault in a lot of situations too. Like I had one in my pocket and I was at school and got bumped into a desk and it shattered the screen. I had one where like I got pushed into a puddle and my phone was in my pocket.
I think it was an LG flip phone that I had, which is funny to think about.
The only LG, whenever I think of LG, I think of the LG chocolate, which was I want to say that was one of the ones that like slid up and then out.
Might have been.
But that was
I just
also the
remember that flip
Pantech
phone.
Duo.
I remember back in the day, you couldn't put your phone on true silence.
Yeah.
Vibration was silent, right? Like that was the setting. There was no quiet mode. It was
Right.
I'm either ringing or I'm vibrating. And I remember I was in school and I didn't turn my phone off. Right, like I put it on vibrate because that's what you do.
Did you have to
get
answer
caught
your
with
phone in front of the class?
No, I didn't.
I had
but
to.
It was so funny because the phone. I was wearing basketball shorts, and so it was like dangling in my pocket on my hip, and because it like wasn't like held at all, like compressed in my pants at all, and it had an extremely like vicious vibrate on that phone. It vibrated so fucking loud that the teacher went to the window and thought there was like a cicada like on the window, like thinking that the bug was trying to get in. And my buddy looks at me, he's like, "Dude, that was loud as fuck." And I found out after he said that he didn't know it was my phone, because I thought when he made a comment to me that he knew it was my phone and was like laughing about it, but he was like, "Oh, dude, that's a huge bug, I bet." I was like, "Oh, dude, that's my fucking phone."
Uncle Kyle with the
like I
Nextels.
remember.
I wanted those were the ones with the like the built-in.
Is that what it was?
walkie-talkie.
The walkie? Yeah. I remember that. That was later in.
I wanted one of those so bad, but you
Everybody
only
was
could,
really into
you
that
had to have Sprint Nextel. Like that was the
Which is
only
funny
carrier.
too, because that was such like like the brand was just non-existent, and then they came on the market with this fucking campaign of like.
You can use your
I
phone
can't
as a
remember. I
walkie-talkie.
have to like look up a fucking commercial, but yeah, it was like, Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
No, because Can You Hear Me was Verizon.
Are you? Yeah.
Nextel was something else. It was. I can't remember what their
Push
marketing
it.
scheme was, but it was good.
I'm.
a good mark.
I have a commercial from 2004 that I'm watching right now. It's 2 guys dancing in an office to "Ooh Baby Baby."
I don't know what that has to do with the phone.
It's the commercial for the phone.
I know, but I mean.
Oh
I just
yeah, and
don't-
they're in the office and they're using the phones as walkie-talkies. But yeah, it's
That was funny though, and now it's funny because there's like an app on your Apple Watch
yeah.
for walkie-talkie now if you
Yep.
have one.
Did you ever downgrade phones?
I don't think so.
I had a point in my life where I was like, I didn't want to use an iPhone. I wanted to be different and didn't want to use an iPhone anymore, so I downgraded to a BlackBerry.
I don't know if you should call that a downgrade. Carly would probably fight you. She thinks Blackberries are
Blackberries were the
greatest inventions
shit.
of all time.
But
She loved
I'm gonna
Blackberries.
steal your topic a little bit. Is there ever a cell phone that you wanted that you never had? And if
Just
so,
the Razor, I think.
Really?
Because I remember when I was
For me, it was the Sidekick.
Oh yeah,
always wanted
I
a
remember being
Sidekick.
jealous of one of those. The only thing I would say other than that was I remember just wanting a smartphone, but I don't think iPhone had reached the level of popularity required for me to like have wanted the iPhone specifically.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, people can get it on the internet on their phone.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
My dad, before BlackBerry had the Palm Trios, which were essentially Blackberries without the little scrolly ball.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And it had like the antenna, and built into the antenna was a stylus.
Yeah.
I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And actually, that's what I switched to before I got a BlackBerry. I switched to that because we still had it and it still worked on AT&T. And then later on, I switched to the BlackBerry. And then I eventually
never
ended up
had a
switching back to an iPhone because I didn't want to hate my life anymore. But yeah,
Yeah, I never had a BlackBerry.
you missed out.
I remember like BBM being a huge
Yeah.
thing. Everybody was obsessed with that shit.
It was
BlackBerry
iMessage before
Messenger.
Yeah, it was iMessage before iMessage existed.
I feel like it was just like an AOL Instant Messenger on the BlackBerry.
I mean, yeah, that's really what it was. But
Which is funny now because I found out actually like it's crazy to me that I have lived long enough that people don't know what that is.
oh, I know.
I have tried to use that as a reference so many times in life now, and people are like looking through the fucking back of my head.
I was
Like,
talking
What is a AOL?
I was talking to somebody the other day who didn't even know what the Sidekick was.
Dude, isn't that fucking insane? I am not very old.
Yeah,
In
we're
the
not,
grand scheme of life, I
you're-
am not very old.
You're what, 28 right now?
I
I'm
am
26
rapidly
right now?
approaching 30, and that still doesn't make me very old.
Yeah, like we're not old. We are not
And
old
the
people.
amount that technology has changed and developed in my lifetime
yeah,
is incredible. Like I literally went from the very first phone I ever had to be a Nokia brick with T9 word texting and Snake as the only application, if you will, on the phone, to now
yo, Snake. was the
everything is
shit,
at my
though.
fingertips. It's incredible. It really is incredible.
Yeah, it's. I remember like.
I've completely derailed from my topic, by the way. We can keep talking about this stuff.
What
Though.
was your? Oh yeah, fears. We'll get back to that.
Swallowing gum is a good example.
Yes.
Not that
You were
big
always
of a deal.
no. You literally. It was like the whole. It takes 7 years to digest. Guess what? You don't digest it. You literally just poop
Yeah.
it out the next
Yeah.
time you poop.
Yeah.
It goes through your body that quickly.
Dude, the number of times that we were forced to stop, drop, and roll growing up, which is a legitimate learning
Yeah.
tool, whatever, but I've never had to use it.
Nope.
Never in my life have I been on fire.
Can we talk about another thing that we learned as kids real quick that was useless?
Go ahead.
Did you ever have to do the tornado drills where you
All the
get
time.
in
I don't think
you
they-
get
I
on
don't-
your knees and you cover your neck as if that's the one spot that can paralyze you?
Well, it wasn't supposed to. You weren't like covering your neck. You were like bringing your head
no,
down.
we
so
were
that you-
told specifically to just cover our neck so that we didn't get paralyzed.
Oh, ours was like that. You were just supposed to tuck your head, so like you were trying to protect your head area, probably head and neck, but that's why you were like in best case scenario, you had grabbed a book out of your room, and you were putting
Yeah.
the book over your head / neck area.
Yeah.
Chat rooms were and like MSN Messenger was post AOL Instant Messenger,
Yep.
so you had like that, and you had all sorts of like that was when like the like level of creepiness on the internet was getting huge because
Yeah.
you started having like RPGs like did you ever play My Coke World? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, my family was big into my Coke Rewards.
Where it was like an entire Coca-Cola universe.
Yep.
But that was like creepy as fuck, dude.
And then there
Like
was
the
like the
ASL generation,
Yep.
creepy as fuck.
Very creepy.
So creepy.
Very cringe too.
Oh yeah, big time.
Logan, shut up.
Speaking of, this is funny because I looked up a list now of like things that are like common fears people have as a kid, or like that has been like instilled in them, and like meeting people on the internet or like having online friends. For example, how Jake and I met.
Literally.
It's such a taboo from like when we were kids.
Yeah, Dane's dad was like, make sure he's not a murderer.
He thought I was gonna be a serial killer.
And then
Yeah.
Jess and I were very much just like, yeah, we'll fly to Arizona. Fuck it.
yeah. Oh, this is a good one. The ceiling light in your car.
Oh, I was about to mention that.
It's funny
Like,
too because I
It was
remember
illegal.
I remember thinking that it was literally illegal.
That's what I was told. Like, that's what
And I don't know
learned.
who told me that.
My parents did. And it's
Mine
just
might
because they
too.
didn't want it on when they were driving.
But it's funny because you think about it, and it's like because of that, I've never used that light in my vehicle.
I have.
Ever.
I definitely have.
I have used like the front ones, like when I was parked. But I'm talking about like the center one in like a car.
Yeah.
I've never used that ever in my life.
Oh yeah, I haven't really ever. I've used it. I've never like used it while I was driving.
Yeah. It's like a fear that just is silly as shit.
Let's see what else.
Cracking knuckles.
Yep, that one. Yeah,
You're getting arthritis.
do it right now.
Oh,
Crack.
getting yeah, that was a good one too. Like, and this wasn't a fear. This was just stupid shit that your parents would say. But like, getting your face stuck if you made like stupid faces.
Oh yeah, you'll be what you eat. That
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
If you eat too many noodles, you're suddenly gonna turn into a noodle. Insert question mark here. I'm trying to think of like, oh, you gotta wait 30 minutes after you eat before you go swimming, or you're gonna drown.
Yeah, and some of it wasn't like, I don't know how many times that was preached to me as like an anti-drowning technique, but it was more of like an anti-cramping, which I think there is some
Also,
probably legitimate
no,
science behind that. I don't know.
There isn't. If you don't breathe, if you don't mouth breathe, your stomach won't cramp like that. If you breathe through your nose, exhale through your mouth, you will never cramp. That's all it is. But when you're more full,
I've definitely always ignored that logic, but
same.
I just never knew if it was real or not.
When you're more full, you have a tendency to mouth breathe, which is where that comes from.
Interesting.
I remember actually when I was younger, I was told that I could drink too much water and I would die.
That's true.
It is true, but as an adult, like I have,
it's not a problem because nobody's ever going to drink. Well,
yeah,
unless you're deliberately doing it. Yeah.
Like I have drank at one point in my life, I was legitimately working out like 2 hours twice a day, and I was drinking like 2 gallons of water a day. But even then, like that's really over 24 hours. That's really not a crazy amount.
That's a lot. There was
It's
actually a
lot,
recent thing
but it's
that
not
happened
crazy.
that was shown about this. But I think it's, like you said, it's depending on the level of exercise and everything. Like if I'm sweating out a lot throughout the day, then sure, I can intake a little bit more water. But there is problems for like organs and shit. Like what do they call it? Water intoxication?
Yeah. But that's also like if you're drinking a lot really fast. Like I was just constantly, I was just steadily drinking water. It wasn't.
I'm just trying to let the audience know that you shouldn't do that.
Yes, yes. Obviously, don't drink a lot of water in a short period of time, especially if you're trying to win a contest for a radio show.
Quicksand either. Hey, did you ever do the gallon challenge?
The gallon of milk?
For you? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever do the Sprite banana challenge?
Crackers? Saltine challenge?
Oh yeah, a whole sleeve of saltines.
No, it wasn't a sleeve. It was like 6 saltines in a minute or something like that.
Oh yes, no, yeah, we did that
Which
youth
is
group
really
one
fucking
time.
difficult.
Cinnamon challenge. That one's
Cinnamon
up there.
challenge. I didn't do that. That was like
I have. That's easy.
I feel like the cinnamon challenge was like in the follow-on generation of people. Like our generation was the milk challenge and shit, and then all of a sudden the cinnamon thing came out when I was older.
Did you ever do the Fiber One Bar challenge?
No.
Try and eat a whole box of Fiber One bars and then go 8 hours without taking a shit.
Okay, I have heard of that, and no, I did not do that.
I did it. Succeeded.
I feel like that's a misnomer anyway. Like just because you're eating fiber doesn't mean you're gonna shit yourself.
It doesn't not mean it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Some medical person out there smarter than me, you can tell me about.
Yeah, if you actually have a a science degree, let us know.
Did we do a second topic for you?
We can't. I said if
do
we
you have one. Do you have a pre-prepared topic?
I mean, no.
I was gonna say we probably barely have time to squeeze it in if you do. We're almost out of time.
We'll call the Super Bowl one my first topic.
Okay.
All right. Real quick, Kyle, what's your go-to mixed drink?
Honestly, it's ginger and whiskey.
All right. Go-to like somewhat fancier cocktail.
Ginger and whiskey.
I
don't really drink cocktails.
My go-to mixed drink, vodka soda. Go-to cocktail, old fashioned. There we go.
I do like an old fashioned, which I have. It's been a more recent discovery for me. I've had quite a few recently. Actually, I just had one last weekend, and I enjoy an old fashioned for sure.
Right there, I got the bitters. I got a bunch of whiskey.
Do you have your oranges and cherries over there?
I do have cherry syrup. The actual cherries are in the fridge. But I have orange bitters, regular bitters, grenadine right there, bunch of bourbons. Come on over, Kyle. We'll have some old fashions.
I don't really want to come to Illinois. You can come here.
You can come to Illinois at some point.
Maybe.
You'll come here for Riot Fest at least once more time.
That's probably true once COVID chills out. I actually tried to buy tickets for this year's. I knew they were sold out by the time, because I thought it was right when like the lull happened in COVID, where like we like pre-Omicron and like post-Delta, where we thought things were going to be normal, or maybe pre-Delta actually. Either way, when things were
No,
starting to chill out.
it was post Delta, pre Omicron.
Okay, yeah. And I looked at tickets and they were sold out completely, so that sucked. But
Illinois is talking about lifting their mask mandate indoors by the end of February.
That's not an encouraging thing for me.
I'm just hoping that everything gets back to normal somewhat soon. If not, I'll keep wearing my mask. I'll keep being vaccinated. Let me know when I can get my fourth booster.
Give it 6-8 months.
Yeah.
All right, rank your last beer before we go.
This one was definitely. This is like a breakfast beer. It's very much like drinking a mimosa. I'll give it a 6-1.
I'll give this a 5-9.
Told you it was gonna.
That might be slightly underrating it, to be honest. Like it's fine.
It's hard to follow up. It's hard to follow up a good stout with a.
Yeah, just and honestly, I put a lot of consideration, which is why I didn't drink that stout last week, is because I was trying to better pair my beverages, but I just don't have any other stouts, and so it was either going to be that in a golden, or that in a amber, or that in a.
I would have done the amber in that. I feel like that profile would have been closer.
I don't know. There was just like I didn't have a perfect thing to match that with. So
we're gonna spend the next week trying to find you a bottle shop to go to.
Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Well,
I just like Total Wine. And I actually haven't been in quite a long time, so they probably have a newer selection that I can go check out.
Get over there.
I need to.
I need to
get more points.
I actually need to go. I need to stock up on stouts again. I got a lot of sours, and I've gone through most of the stouts because I have a lot of like packs of stouts, and I don't want to drink the same stuff on here.
It's funny because the last time I went, I bought like 18 beers, like random beers for this podcast, and then I had to take that break for like a month and a half, and
like
so
3 months.
I'm still working through those. But yeah,
it's fine. You deserve a restock, Kyle. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I will promise to be better about uploading the episodes in time. If you're listening to us live and you have not gone on iTunes or Spotify, make sure you listen to the previous 2 episodes that we have gone there.
Finally posted. Check them out.
Give us a like, give us a rating on iTunes, give us a follow on there as well.
Please do.
Make sure you interact with us on social medias. The number 2 AVG Husbands on Twitter and Instagram?
And Instagram.
Make sure you interact with us on there. We're going to get better about posting more consistently on there.
I think Facebook is the only one that's 2 average husbands spelled out. And I did just post on Instagram for the first time in like 3 months. So there's something on our story right now. And it's the beer that I drink.
Exactly. Make sure you hop into the Discord as well. The link tree, if it's not in the link of all of our episodes, I'm going to go back and make sure that I add it all in there. Make sure you hop into the Discord. We will be hanging out in there from time to time. We'll do some specific nights where we just kind of hang out in there.
We've been really bad about the Discord, honestly. We came up with that idea together, and we thought it was going to be really good, and we were excited about it. And then it just I would say we didn't wait to get some interest from the fans of 2 Average Husbands, if you will, for lack of a better term, listeners of 2 Average Husbands. So if you guys are interested in that type of thing, let us know. We'll come in there and chat. We'll find a way to get in there. We could do a podcast literally just in Discord if you guys want at some point in time too, and chat in there or whatever. But
yeah,
happy to do it. Just express your interest, and we'll move things around and make things happen. We're here for the good times and for the people to have a good time too.
Exactly. We might even do like a specific night where we just invite people just to hang out in Discord and drink with us. Who knows?
Literally anytime. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
Here to chill.
Thank you all for tuning in. I will let Kyle speak his piece. Kyle, take it away.
I will take it away, Ernie. Name that reference. Somebody tweet at me. Anyway, you can find me at Kyle and Herson, spelled out like that, Herson on Twitter. And you can find Jake at Perry_FF on Twitter as well. If he didn't mention his own, I don't know if he did or not. And then you can find all of our social medias and everything as well. So come join us, hang out, check out the Discord. Let us know what you like and don't like. Part of this is selfish fun for us, so we can have an excuse to drink every week. And part of it is because we think we're entertaining sometimes. So I can't remember what Jake promised. I think it was 250 or 500 followers or some shit like that on social media. We'll send you a t-shirt that looks something like this, maybe a better version of this. I don't know yet.
Just get us to 100. Get us to 100. I will send you a t-shirt.
And then
I'll make Kyle make the t-shirt, but I'll send it.
Jake has been really pushing for this Michelob Ultra and other beer sponsorships. So retweet those things too and help us out. Other than that, thanks for joining us, guys. It's been another great week. See you guys next week. 2 Average Husbands. Peace out.
And as always, don't forget to tell somebody that you love them.